Hello and namaste. Welcome to this last week of the course. I am very happy that we have covered lot of different things which we intended to when we started off. The objective was very clear and I think we have come a long way since we started, where we actually didn't know anything about Blender, and today I am so happy that most of you are not only able to work in Blender but also create some animations and videos and models and whatnot. So I think we are on the right path. Going forward, this particular video, which was actually not planned to be incorporated, but it is because of sheer participation of you all that we decided that we will add something as a surprise thing at the end of this particular course. We are going to discuss small little tips in the beautification of the model. You have been working on various aspects of modeling, and in fact some of this could be redundant to people who have already explored this, but in the benefit of a larger audience who has not seen it probably, and I am saying probably because I do not really know whether people have started looking out for various options in Blender, because now they are hooked on to Blender, and I get lots and lots of feedback about why we should not have the follow up course of this and what should be the content of that course and what not. So here is couple of utilities, I may call it, not exactly effects or modifiers, but these are typically some utilities. They are obviously modifiers, but these utilities will help you in making the model as realistic as possible. So without wasting further more time, let us just get on to Blender. I will ask Nitin to open a new scene which starts with this default dabba. So let us just delete and get rid of that, because what we are going to talk today is about smoothing of the model. So we had this particular activity or the assignment to create the chess pawn, and most of you had created a particular model which had this kind of effect. Actually lot of people came quite nearer to this. In fact some people went ahead of this and created a very good background, added reflections to it, experimented with the lights and whatnot. So we thought that we will share with you the part, especially at the bottom if you look at it, where you have a very smooth curve. So lot of people asked on the discussion forums and even on the emails, how do you get that kind of a thing? Let us just start. Press Shift A and we will get a drop down, select UV sphere, and let us just zoom in to see that if you press plus on the numpad, you will see that this particular model has lots of faces. Now if you zoom in further and make it really big, then you can see that these are squares. These are lots of squares which are connected to each other, and these faces when you see together you see a sphere. Now people who know difference between raster and vector know it very well, what is pixelization. So we have a particular model here which looks kind of rough right now because the faces are too less. If you see on the top bar of Blender, you can actually come to know that there are 512 faces for this particular sphere. The way you can modify this, and the moment I say modify, you require modifiers. There is a spanner icon in the properties panel, and if you click on that you get list of modifiers. The moment you click, it will ask you which modifier do you want to add. Under that add a modifier button, a huge drop down will come out. So we are right now looking at generating subdivision surface. This is the particular modifier we are going to use. What it does is that it will further divide those squares which were big enough into multiple smaller squares, and that is why it is called subdivision. So the surface is subdivided and we get a smoother look on the entire sphere model. Once you click that, you will come across a particular panel which will show you the following buttons. Forget about couple of things which are right now not relevant to us, but concentrate on the subdivisions menu where you have two options, one is view and the other one is render. What it means is, if you select the view and keep changing the particular number there by clicking on the right hand side arrow, it will increase it, and you can see that the model is becoming smoother and smoother after every click. So if you are at 3 on view, you will see a very smooth model here. Remember, whatever number you give here is only for viewing, and whenever you render, it will not render this kind of a smooth surface, because the next particular button which is called render is still at 2. So if you render this like Nitin just now did, you could see the squares still on the particular model, which you do not want. Therefore, you can increase the render value also in the subsurface, subdivision surface, and make it 3. Now if you render, you can see that it is smooth without any squares seen on it. Here is a important tip to remember. This difference between view and render can be utilized for faster working. So when you are working on a bigger model, apply the render level high, because you will get a good rendered image at the end of the day, but while working you do not want the computer to slow down. So keep the view option low, so that you can move around very fast, but when you render you can get a good quality. So this is how you can actually play around with subdivision surface. The ideal combination for subdivision surface is where you keep the view option on 2 and the render option on 3, so that you are free to modify anything else in the scene without getting a slow computer problem. So this is what our suggestion is. Let us see one more interesting option. On the left hand panel, you will see left hand side of the 3D panel, you will see a plus sign. If you click on the plus icon on the left, a tool shelf will open, and like I said, because it is a tool shelf, the shortcut, the keyboard shortcut is T. So you can press T and it is a toggle button. You press T, it will go off, you press T again, it will come back. Okay, so the tool shelf has multiple things. Let us skip through them. If you go down by taking the scroll bar below, then you come across something called shading. Under that there are two options, one is smooth, another one is flat. If you click on smooth, you can see that right now the shading has become smoother. Remember that even if it is smooth here, if you press Z to see the wireframe mode, the mesh has not changed. In fact, you can go and see the top bar where it will show you faces 512 even now. But if you render this now, then you will not get the faces in rendering. So this is a very easy way of giving a finishing to the product what you have made without actually increasing the file size. So this is called smooth, and this can be applied anytime. But remember, this will be applied only in object mode. So keep this tip handy, and let us see how that can be applied to the chess pawn model.